You know, the game has changed so much with today, kids play so many games and they don't really drill and work on their game, and they think that by playing 7 games in a weekend they're playing, where in the old days playing games was competing. If you lost, you didn't play anymore. Now if a kid loses, you know, they get 7 more games in that weekend, so they kind of lose that ability. And speaking to that, Mike, you know, you were such a hard-nosed defender, and to achieve what you did, you know, offensively, or not to, you know, belittle your offensive
No, that's
accomplishments.
okay. I think that Mr. Johnson had more points in one game than I had half of my league play. No, I didn't score a lot. We didn't score a lot. We were more a defensive team. We all averaged around that 10, 12, 15-point mark the last 2 or 3 years, and the 2 years. And yeah, the game has changed a lot from that standpoint as far as scoring. And I never did score that much, except for the finals where I had 26 and 0.
But the respect you earned from your teammates and
well,
from anybody who knows you.
We did play good defense, and that was, we started probably, I can't remember anybody before us starting the game with a full court press. We used to run up scores like 22-3 right at the beginning of a game. Right. And Casey Jones and Hal Perry were tremendous defenders, and they were right in your face. And anything that got by us, we overplayed everything. Anything that got by us, Russell would block or stop, or he'd alter the shot. So defense was really our forte, not so much offense.
And Bill, you know, your success, I think, was really driven by your competitive nature. You know, you and I often talk a lot about, you know, your career here, and it's usually, you always express your disappointment, you know, that you didn't win more, and yet you won at such a high level for so many years. How did you develop that competitive fire?
Well, it's probably like a lot of people growing up. We didn't have anything. So everything you got, you had to work for. And as you know, I grew up, my dad was a farm laborer, grew up on a ranch, spending 8 hours a day in the field, and then started playing sports, and it's like, hey, this is pretty good. Instead of going to the field. And then now we're playing basketball, so we're inside too. So you can stay there for a long time, be inside and work. So just to be able to work and work really hard. I had a really good high school coach. Now, he was going to test you, so you had to compete at an extraordinarily high level, as you know about, Frank. So you just learn how to compete, learn how to work really hard. I was fortunate I had really good players around me in high school. I had another friend of mine, Terry Soffer, who was a year older than me. He was 6'9", so he got a chance to beat me up for a year. So I kind of learned how to play with him. And then after you taste success and you're on good teams, you want more, and you realize what's out there. And as we got here, I'm playing with other really good players. So you have an opportunity to win. And yeah, I wanted to be like these guys and win it all. I mean, that was the ultimate goal for us, was to be able to win a championship. We came close, but we didn't quite get there. But the experience was great.
You know, and you were all blessed to be great coaches who inspired you. You've all cited that. Plus at a school that kind of really promoted giving it back and really learning the whole Jesuit values of giving it back. And you all have done that. And Ollie, I know you've been a trustee here. You know, you've given back to the university. I think you've been a trustee for over 6 years.
Yes, 6 years.
Yeah, what made you get into that, and what was your experience like serving the community?
I was asked by Father Prevet to serve, and I did. I think what it taught me was the understanding the university, other aspects of the university. And with the athletic and the academic, it brought that all together, how our university works, what it takes, the financial responsibility. And that was a great experience.
Well, thank you for serving. And Joe, you know, you season ticket holder, you're such a big part of this community. I think our younger players look up to you, our fans look up to you, and the admiration that you have. And you know, we're retiring your jersey today, and a lot of it is the fan support that people wanted to see that happen. You have such respect in the community. You know, what does it feel to be a part of the place where you grew up?
Humbling, very humbling. It is something that I never expected would happen. And in fact, I don't think that anybody that plays a game plays it to get awards. You play it because we love it. And this has been a big part of my life. I mean, I started off at 8 years old with a ball in my hand. So that was who I was at the time, because I was a very introverted young person. Didn't really know I had a voice until I came to USF. So it's made a great difference in my life, and I really appreciate the support that I've gotten here.
Yeah, thank you. And Mike, you've coached college basketball, you coached high school basketball, you're still coaching, you're still training players and imparting your wisdom and knowledge and making kids better, giving back to the game. Tell me how you got into all that.
Well, I got fired as a coach of Baltimore Bullets before they moved to Washington. I was 1-8. And the only team that I was able to be the coach of that we won, we beat Cincinnati with Oscar Robinson, one of my old teammates that I played, and that was very, very rewarding. But working with Jim Bravelli when the program came back here, I was a volunteer for a while. And then I came back at age 50 and got my degree, and the school supported me through that period as far as getting the degree. And then I also worked for 21 years as an instructor here, and with basketball, volleyball, and weight training. And I brought the strength training to the basketball team with Jim Bravelli at that time. So my connection with USF was very good at age 50 for 21 years. And we also did the solar here, which I was very proud of. So yeah, it's been a good run, and working with the kids. Now I've got one kid playing in the NBL down in Australia that I worked with, and 2 other kids scholarships. So that's payback. That's because basketball has been very good to me throughout my life. It took me out of Richmond, out of a really depressed area. So I'm just very fortunate that I had the run I did.
That's great. Well, you've all been great ambassadors for the school and for your communities. And Bill, you've come back as an ambassador, and you do a lot of different roles. You're helping with the basketball program as a consultant. You also serve as an ambassador. You never say no. You're always here to help support. What would it mean for you to come back to the Hilltop?
Well, it's been great. The big part about it is, well, there's 3 parts of it. One is that I get to work with the community and meet a lot of different people and expose myself to a lot of things that I maybe should have been aware of in the Fillmore. And then there's our donors, to be able to communicate with those. But what I really enjoy is to be able to come back and reconnect with our athletes, spend time with them. And there's a lot of our athletes who've been disconnected from the school for whatever reason. And then once you reach out to them, they are more than happy to want to talk about the school, their experience, and then come back and actually see a game and visit with some of the old teammates. That's been really rewarding. So it's been terrific.